people just see things like dog with hat come from out of nowhere, and it's suddenly worth $1.50, $2.75, and they're like, this has no utility. How is it mooning? How is it going up so fast when you've got a real use case, utility, working kind of software that's potentially going to be changing the world, and at least how humanity interacts with digital life and data, sitting at wherever it's sitting, ranging between 1 cent and 15 cents. Can you explain to people how to set their expectations just in general when they're investing in a project? Because I can imagine it can be pretty frustrating if they're seeing these other coins and they're comparing this project with other coins, and I don't know if they're setting their expectations realistically. So can you speak to that?
Yeah. Being in crypto is like playing chess on one board with 6 players. And the players on the board are gamblers, traders, and investors on either side of the buy and the sell. And you have to know who you are in this world. So the people that are playing with meme coins and really trying to get rich as quickly as possible, they're gamblers. And there's nothing wrong with that. Unfortunately, they're going to lose a lot of their money, if not all of it, because things like Dog with Hat are controlled by some extremely rich people that got drunk together at a party and said, we're going to make the stupidest fucking thing possible and control the markets and just easily double our money while laughing at how dumb people will continuously allow themselves to be taken advantage of. These markets are not mostly people. They're set by market making algo bots. So the less people that are actually in the market, the easier it is to move the price, because there aren't contradicting orders in that book. So you can have Dog with Hat rip from 0 to 100 million before anyone notices, because it's before anyone notices. No one actually put $100 million into it. That's just what they priced it as. And they could have done that in just a couple transactions if they wanted to. Now, that's not how it's done, but you have a bot that's constantly just wash trading against other bots to make it look a little bit more natural. But that's not how it really works. In fact, most of the crypto industry has gotten to where it is through wash trading, which has now been outlawed by most regulations, and it's a lot harder to do on exchanges. It still happens, but rather than by one bot or 2 bots on one account, you might have, a dozen accounts all run by different companies, but are more or less just working together to generate this volume and control price where it is, or send price to where they want it to be. So markets are completely manipulated. Now, if you have some of these smaller projects with really good fundamentals that aren't paying market makers to do this kind of stuff, they're at a severe disadvantage compared to something that is only focused on generating a bunch of hype and getting people, gamblers specifically, to get sucked into whatever narrative they're selling. And a cute dog with hat makes you giggle and laugh. And if you've got no hope in life and this is the only thing making you smile all day, well, it's kind of like a really cheap drug. And with the hope that it can go up and change your life, great. Meanwhile, they're going to dump their bags on you and eventually just exit. And these are the same people who've done it 1,000 times before and will do it 1,000 times after, because that's the nature of venture capital. They get in early, they get 100 times better deal than everyone else. And then when it hits the public, they rip the price up as high as they possibly can, and then just slowly take their exit and move on to the next thing. And the less value to the world that this thing has, the easier it is to let go of. Versus something like thought, which is really trying to change, the human experience for the positive. It takes a lot more time, and the efforts are focused on the actual product rather than trying to make people rich overnight. Now, can THT make people rich at some point? Maybe, but that's not the overall goal. The overall goal is to create impact and serve as many human people as possible to make their lives better. By the natural laws of supply and demand, and also gamblers and also investors becoming more aware of the THT token, it's very likely, in my opinion, that it's going to see life-changing gains for people that are buying today in 2024. But there's no guarantee of that, and that's certainly not the overall goal of the team and what their efforts are trying to build. But they're some of the biggest bag holders of THT as well. They haven't sold any out of their treasury or their personal bag. So incentives are all aligned here. You find me another development team that still has all their team tokens after 6 years in crypto, because I don't know any.
Well, and the timing with the markets right now, just globally, doesn't help the pace of funding because, like you said, where VCs are just kind of almost wash trading their investments, they get early, they sell high, they just keep doing it. When money is cheap, aka interest rates are zero, everybody's trying to get the highest return. So it's just one big gamble fest. Right now, interest rates are high, so it's harder to get people to just throw money at things. But I think generally most of us believe that they will get funding because they are fundamentally strong, and they've made it this far just on their own.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. And the people that have learned about THT in the VC community are very interested in it. We mentioned Tim Draper earlier, and he walked away not saying no, but saying, let me know when I can get my hands on it and learn more and see it in action. And as they get closer to their product launch, I think there will be a lot of people that are willing to write that check. People that are conserving cash right now, looking for high quality investments to play it safe. I think Thought will qualify under that narrative once it has a product out that people can put their hands on. Being able to have a closed demo this year was a huge step in the right direction. And I think once it becomes an open beta, that's going to be a huge game changer.